Hey everybody, today I'm going to talk about something that's a very interesting development that happened not so recently, but is about to reach a boiling point on October 1st. So Catalonia, a region in Spain, which is in the northeast corner of Spain, here let me show you where that is. It's in this region of Spain and it's centered around the city of Barcelona. They've decided that they want independence from the large state of Spain. And for all you guys who don't know, Spain is a federal republic. Um, Similar to the United States in some way because it's made of um, several autonomous regions. So here in the northwest, sorry, is Galicia, where they speak a language similar to Portuguese. Then there's Catalonia, here in the northeast, which speaks Catalan. And then there's the Basque region to the north, which speaks its own unique Basque language. And then the rest of the country speaks Spanish or Castilian, because these people would say they're Spanish, however, they speak their own language, so that's why they call it Castilian, not Spanish. Um, we don't really see this here in the North American continent because all of the Latin countries speak Castilian or Spanish. So here's why this is such an issue. So Catalonia is one of the most is the most economic productive region of Spain and is a powerhouse of the Spanish economy. And for all you guys who don't know, after 2008, the Spanish economy was devastated and really hasn't recovered since. So the Spain needs taxes from Catalonia in order to pay off its monumental debt. So let's first look. So here's the um, Catalonian GDP, about 255 billion, which is nothing to scoff at. It's a good fifth of the country's overall GDP. And then here's the wonderfully large debt that Spain has accumulated, a little over $1 trillion. So actually, that was in euros. Sorry. So this is actually $1.2 trillion, which is quite a bit of money when you think about Spain's GDP, which is right here at $1.18 trillion. So it's about 106% of GDP, which is a monumental debt for this. I mean, it's a relatively large country. However, since it does not have a independent monetary policy, it will be unable to inflate off this debt. So it looks like without Catalonia, Spain will become the next Greece. Um, as soon as Catalonia breaks away, if it does, um, the Spanish economy and the Catalonian economy will probably crash. And I've seen anywhere between 20 to 30% of GDP loss for both Spain and Catalonia. So therefore, they will be unable to repay their debt. So there will be two things that will happen, assuming that Catalonia becomes independent. There will be defaults of the Spanish debt. I don't think there would be a default of Catalonia because Catalonia will be more able to pay off its debt, and there will still be disagreements about whether, what exact percentage of debt that Catalonia would receive. Would it be equal to the population or equivalent to GDP? Because if it was population, then it would receive somewhere between 16%, but if it was GDP, then it would somewhere over 20%. And this may be just a few small percentage points, but think about it, that is hundreds of billions of dollars at stake. So let's go over some of the reasons why Catalonia wants to be independent. So, they're much more wealthy compared to the rest of Spain, so they believe that they are propping up the rest of Spain, which is actually very true because um, they are sending more tax dollars to Madrid than they are receiving in services. So that alone is not that upsetting, but how Spain has handled the referendum is very surprising. They are actually trying to stop the referendum. They're actually sending police from other regions of Spain to police Catalonia, which is very disturbing. It's very totalitarian. It's very authoritarian. The thought that a Western country would be sending police from another region to police another region to stop democracy from taking place is extremely disturbing. But however, Spain is a history of civil unrest, civil strife, and civil war. Ever since the 1880s, the Spanish state has had very large issues keeping its various independent regions or semi-autonomous regions together. Especially the Basque, where there was a almost genocide that happened during the Spanish Civil War in 1836, where Franco launched very intense bombings of the Basque region, which was loyal to the Communist Republic of Spain. So the Spanish Civil War was between a nationalist fascist government and a Republican, quote unquote, Republican communist government. And they were fighting over Spain, which let some of the uh, regions of Spain become independent. So Catalonia was briefly an independent communist state for about 3 years and this state was then crushed by Franco, and then the Basques were crushed, and then they were brought together and ruled under Franco, and then over time, since Franco died in I think the late 1970s, they've established a constitutional kingdom which has dealt more autonomy to the states. However, um, there's a dispute within the constitution whether or not Catalonia can leave, and the Madrid government uniformly said no. So they see this referendum as an act of rebellion. However, normally I do not support independence movements. Generally, it would be worse off for a state to leave. However, in this case, I believe that Catalonia should leave Spain. Spain has very high taxes, very high regulation, and is stifling economic growth, especially in Catalonia. So I think Catalonia would be better off to leave. And, however, there's going to be huge disputes with the Eurozone, whether or not will Catalonia be in the Eurozone. I would think Spain would block their joining of the EU, so I don't think so. So there'll be all sorts of new challenges for Catalonia. They're going to need to establish their own currency. They're going to need to establish their own government, which they sort of have. They already have a parliament, which is 53% of the parliament is the Independence Party. So I almost do not think that Catalonia will vote for independence. However, the Spanish intervention into Catalonia may have triggered something. So currently the polls I've seen about 75% support the referendum and 41% will vote yes. However, now that the Spanish government is blocking the referendum, I think it will spur on more and more Catalonians to vote for independence. And there's also a few other things. So the Catalans believe that their language has been suppressed. It was banned under the Franco government and really has not reached the same status as Spanish in the eyes of the Madrid government. However, there is Catalonian spoken school and it's given wide areas of autonomy. But this could all change after the referendum. The Spanish government looks like that it will resort to martial law if the referendum is passed, because after this is not a toothless referendum like Brexit. After 48 hours, the Catalonian government will declare independence from Spain. Spain will have to remove its military troops. It will be an extremely tense situation. However, I think it's in the best interest of Catalonia. So, that was just my thoughts on the up-and-coming Catalonian vote. Thank you guys for listening. Have a great day.